Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Precious Molepo, and as you can see by the title, I am here with
Did you start recording?
in my defense, you introduced yourself as dress code. But anyway, I'm here with Sesing. I don't get your surname.
Monokoane.
And he's going to be telling me about his experience, as you can see by the title.
My CTA journey. So I did my undergrad at UJ. Then I attempted CTA at UJ.
Mm-hmm.
Then so this was 2020. Attempted CTA at UJ. In 2021 I did my CTA at Unisa. The Unisa requirement. You just need to pass literally your undergrad. Even if you are writing and you got a sub, there's no set minimum requirement of you to get an average of 55%. You just need to pass. Mm-hmm.
How do you adjust moving from a full-time position, mentality, pattern to now part-time? Because you said financially you couldn't go full-time, mm-hmm. So you were working at the same time.
Yes, I was working at the same time. So it's quite difficult because now you're on your own. You know, there are no tutorials, there are no, there are no webinars, there's not somebody who's there to guide you and say, okay, please do this question. You're literally on your own.
Yeah.
So you need to come up with your own strategy, what works for you.
So how does it work? Like, is it every week they send you material or?
Yeah, Unisa. So with Unisa, we've got these things they call TAT letters, tutorial letters.
Okay.
And they come in small booklets, right?
Okay.
So those booklets, so when you write, they tell you that study tutorial letter 102 and 103 for this test, right? But everything is online. Now those tutorial letters, they come in the form of PDF and they come as a little hard copy. Those hard copies take forever to come to your place. Yeah, they take forever. Because now there are people striking, you need to go to the post office, we haven't received anything. Literally, I got all of my tutorial letters after finishing exams. Yeah, the final tutorial letters, the hard copies, I eventually got them late. So, yeah, those books take
Before
forever.
you even start, after you started writing?
After you are done writing and stuff. But to compensate for you, they give you the PDF.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so they're trying to balance because there are some people who don't want to spend too much time on the laptops.
Oh, makes sense.
So they'd rather read the physical book.
Okay.
You know? So just to compensate, they give you your tutorial letters well in advance. You know? They actually do have a schedule that they recommend that on this day, do this question, do this, do that. They do have a well set out schedule.
Okay.
But obviously don't stick to it because people like us, we registered late, class had already started, you know. So you create your own timetable. Okay. You know, and you need to find what works for you.
And then as for lecture videos, do they release lecture videos?
They do release lecture videos. Yeah, but it's just videos carried over from the previous years. There we go.
So what is not relevant? Some of the things are not updated? Or?
Yeah, I think some of the things, especially for taxation, some of the things are not updated. You know, but they do try and have engagement sessions, but that's after a long time. I think after every 3 months.
Is it?
Yeah, they do try and have. I think they had over 5, 6. I only attended one. And
then how long are the sessions?
The sessions are, it's just students, they unpack.
Oh, the students, are they no lecturers?
No. So what they do is they unpack the previous year's paper. Okay. So they kind of unpack it. This is what we asked. When you say a question like this, you know, this is how you approach it. So they do kind of try to engage with us every now and then. Okay. You know? Yeah, but I think that only works if you're not working. You know, because you can attend a full session is 2 hours. Then there's a lot of things you get. But now, remember 90% of us are working. So it's the time you have to attend, because they do them at 2 to 3. You're at work.
And there's no recording that
They do, there's a recording, but now, hey, you come back, you're tired. And you're like, yo, I must watch this thing for 2 hours.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And how did a week in your life look like when it came to
So okay.
Balancing work and studying. CTA,
So now I'm working. I stay in Kempton Park. I work in Hatfield. I wake up
already like 20% of your time is traveling.
Already, I wake up at 5 o'clock. 6 o'clock I need to leave the house. Right? I get to work at 8. So it takes 2 hours. I take 2 hours on the road every day. That's my life. Come back to work. Come back from work. Sorry. Then I nap from 6 until 8 until 11. I'm studying. You will not believe that somebody will say, out of 24 hours, you only spend 3 hours studying. Do that consistently, and it will work wonders for you.
Yeah, because I feel like when you think of it,
you know,
and you start comparing, like, oh, I'm only putting 3 hours, yet these full-time students are putting 6 hours.
7 hours.
So you say that's irrelevant as long as you're
That's irrelevant. And it's what's quality versus quantity. That's so irrelevant. You spend 7 hours. In that 7 hours, 3 hours on YouTube. You know, now you probably at your place, you're running errands. I'm gonna go see whoever. You know, you come back, really literally, and it's shocking. That used to shock me, that because I used to say, how is it possible? People are still failing, but I'm surviving on 3 hours of study, and you guys have the whole day. It's so unfair. It's so unfair that you guys are failing, but you had more time. If I had all the time in the world, probably gonna get 80s.
Yeah.
You know, I spend 3 hours every day studying. Whether you do one topic, just that day, at least you're doing something. You know, rather than not doing anything at all. I spend 2 hours on the road to get to work. So obviously I'm sleeping in that 2 hours because I'm already tired.
I was gonna ask actually, do you take a book with you or
No, I can't. There's no, you are tired, you just bamboozled. Oh, it's work the next day. You know, you just wake up. So you don't take a book with you, because even if you study, you're tired, nothing goes in. You work. Then from 4:30, so I used to work from 8 until 4:30. 4:30 I knock off, get home at 6, 6:30, you know. And this was so I had so my first job, I was doing asset verification, and we worked overtime, but this was for a month. And I would get home at like 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I'm tired. My parents could even see that you're tired, and as tired as you are, you need to sit down and open a book, and you're just like, hey. So.
And on that job note, I'm very surprised that you were able to secure a job just with your degree.
Yeah, it's tough.
How? Yeah, I'm just curious to know
guys,
how that went.
Guys, it's tough getting a job with just a degree. So I applied for everything, like 15 years experience. I'm like, but I can't do this. I'm applying. You look at the requirements. 15 years is a problem. Maintain monthly bookkeeping, admin. Come on, I can do this, bruh. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, you get there and you literally apply for everything. And just a rough estimation, every day I would apply for like 15 jobs.
Okay.
Every day. And out of those 15 jobs, I'm sure I've applied for over 50 jobs. One company called me back. So weekends, I cancelled any social life. I wake up at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock I'm already done with my chores.
Okay.
I've already done my 3, 6, 9, 12. I've already done my 15 hours. Now I'm just cementing questions and stuff. So I've already it's not like I was just sitting and I'm waiting for the weekend, you know. So in that busy schedule, you do make time. You do make time to spend time with family and stuff. One thing I didn't go out drinking, because you come back, you have a headache.
And it wastes your day.
It wastes your day. You have to recover.
The whole day you're recovering.
The whole day you're recovering. You have to recover, and you have a headache. You need to open your books. I'm like, no, I'm not touching alcohol. No way. Absolutely not. That's one thing I'm not doing. So I maybe can rather go out on a date, have lunch, and those kind of things. Because that only consumes how many? 3 hours out of my 12 hours. I still have 9 hours left, So I used to use my weekend. I capitalized on my weekends. I did questions on weekends, and
you're such an accountant. You capitalized.
Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. I capitalized, like I used it effectively.
So it was 3 hours during the week,
Mm-hmm.
and then weekends 6 hours, Saturday, Sunday.
Weekends 7 hours max.
Oh, total.
Okay,
not bad.
And
day off.
No day off. Unfortunately, I didn't want to take a day off, but your body gives in, and it's like,
Yeah. So sometimes you had to just take it.
I had to take. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
But your body's like, nah, dude, you're tired. And also, days are not the same. You plan on studying for 3 hours. You just had a hectic day, meetings, day in, day out. You had to strategize and think. Your brain is tired. You have to go home and study. No way.
Yeah.
So days are not the same. For those of you who be in Unisa and working as well, don't beat yourself up too much. Because days are not the same. You want to push for 3 hours. Your body's like, you can't. You need to go sleep. You get what I'm saying? But you need to, that 3 hours that you missed out, you need to cover for it at the weekend. So yeah, that's
so a lot of discipline.
a lot of discipline, a lot of, you don't waste time on petty things.
Yeah.
My parents are like, you're always studying. I'm like, I have to. I'm like, yo, there's something I need to submit. I'm always busy. It's like you're always rushing. You never have time. I didn't eat I didn't have time to sit down and say, okay, now I'm gonna eat. I'm eating on the go, like, okay, I'm having breakfast on the go, like it's
so. You're glad those days are over.
Yo, I'm so glad. Those days are over. I'm like, hey, now I can finally sit down and just relax.
Yeah.
So it just gets you into a habit of you being such a busy person, but you'll get used to it once you form a routine. Your body gets used to it. Okay, now it's time to wake up.
And tried and tested 21 days minimum.
Tried and tested 21 days. I did trial and error, and it worked out perfect. And that was just my strategy throughout.
Oh, that's so nice.
And yeah,
that's very
it worked out. It worked out perfectly.
What tips would you give anybody that's studying through Unisa and wants to pass, not just?
My favorite words. Focus on your exam technique. Focus on your exam technique and do a whole lot of questions.
Yeah, like what did your studying consist of?
My studying consists of, first you sit down, you do an analysis. What are my weak areas? Because you cannot spend.
Now I'm talking at the beginning of the year when you started. Actually.
So now with me, I have 1 year experience now of CTA because I felt, I've got a bit of experience.
Yeah.
So in that year, I identified what are my weak areas. So now you've got limited time. You cannot be spending 7 hours just to make yourself feel good about a certain topic.
That is so true.
That is a lie. You just shooting yourself in the foot. Focus on the module that you battle with. Start all over. Have a drawing board. Okay, I started with this. Focus on that.
So how would you see that you struggle with those? Would you do like quick questions? Or?
You know yourself.
So what's making you feel uncomfortable is what you would spend time on.
Yeah, so that thing that makes you feel like you know yourself. We're all different. I'm good with this module. Somebody's like, oh, nah, I don't understand.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So in that 3 hours, there's going to be a module where you have to go the extra mile for, unfortunately. It can be 1, 2, 3 modules. You have to go the extra mile. Meaning, if it means that you go to extra classes, so be it. Because there are people who used to go to extra classes. Places like CA campus.
Okay.
That I know of, CA campus. What's the other one? Something Edge Business School or something. The one that I know is CA campus and Endunamo.
Yeah.
So with Endunamo, it's tailor-made. CA campus tailor-made for Unisa students.
Oh, nice.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So now they're bridging the gap between that of you studying on your own, trying to figure things out, where you can just simply go and ask someone.
Ah, that's amazing. So what, you can like send your consultations there?
Yeah, you can send your consultation there, but you have to register and pay, and it's like, an extra 20K. I'm like, I don't have that.
So
now.
20K extra just to be able to ask questions.
Yeah, because I think it's like 4.5 a module. So Unisa fees are also sitting around 20K. Now you have to put an extra 20K for modules that you. So this is if you're doing everything. But if there are modules, I think one module. Please correct me. Like those of you who know.
Yeah, we're going to
those of you who know, you feel like you need help.
Mm.
That's what the classes are for.
So do they also release lecture videos? Do you know?
They do release lecture videos
okay.
and additional materials.
Oh, okay.
And sorry, I was not paid by CA Campus, but ooh, the stuff there, I just watched their videos. They're brilliant. I would recommend.
Especially now that you have experience from UJ lecturers.
Exactly. So
Unisa and CTA Campus.
CA Campus, if you're in Unisa, I'd recommend either Andrew Namo or CA Campus because they're tailor-made for you. They understand that you're busy and you're working. You know, they make their packages for those kind of people. So I just read through their material and I'm just like, ooh, this is.
So
brilliant.
what's the difference? Is it because like they don't go into detail on things that are not important because they know you don't have time, or what they give you nice summaries because they know you don't have time, or
you've got an option. If you're working, you attend the classes Saturday and Sunday. So your full Saturday goes to maybe they'll take out 2 modules. This is what we're gonna focus on, and the Sunday they do the other 2 modules. So they like in a way try to make sure that we don't leave anybody out, you know. So that's why I'm saying you don't have to do all 4 or 5 modules. You can just attend the modules that you really battle with.
Oh, that makes sense.
And trust me, they do help. Oh, okay, I didn't attend, but just from seeing afar, people would have what you call these things, testimonies. Oh no, I moved from like 20 to like 80%.
Oh,
this is what I did. I did this. So those are classes I would recommend if you do have time, and also the finances. Also, the modules that you're battling with, start afresh. You know, because there's a reason why you don't pass the previous time, or there's yourself, you're undergrad, you're like, hey, it was a bit shaky. Focus on those modules. Start all over. Go all out. Engage with other people from other universities. You know, don't work in is it silos? Like you're working alone.
Is it silos?
Yeah, I think don't work and think in silos. We've got
big words.
No man. We've got social media. We've got Facebook. You've got WhatsApp groups. You've got Instagram. Reach out to people. You know, people do post. I'm attending, and ask. You know, that's the most important thing. Ask. Always find somebody. There's obviously somebody who went to you. Ask them. I saw you did your. Even LinkedIn is a good place to start because it shows which university you did your thing. You know.
Yeah.
So don't just sit there in silos and be like, I'm gonna do this thing one man. Ask people. Hey, I battle with X, and X. Do you know how to approach it? No, I'll tell you straight up. That one I don't know. But if it's something I know, I'll tell you. Okay, this is what I did. I did this. So always be prepared to ask, because the time you're looking for lectures, you won't find them because I don't know. They respond at their own time. Form study groups. You know, have friends that are also in Unisa. You know, yeah, just don't do this thing alone because you won't survive. You know, have a what you call it, a supportive system. Engage with your peers. Guys, I'm thinking of having a debrief of this certain topic. I'm not understanding. Anybody who's interested. Now it's so beautiful now that you guys don't have to go to the library all together. You know, there's things like Zoom, Teams.
That's true.
Teams, it's so important. You just create a link. Guys, here's a Teams link. We'll be discussing this and this and this.
How is the support from the lecturers?
Yeah.
Were you like, did you reach out in terms of consultation?
I didn't reach out in terms of consultation because I carried my UJ material over into Unisa.
Okay.
So I felt like, no, I don't need to ask help from anyone.
Okay. The
support is there. Like really, the support is there. But it's not like full-time students. You know, you ask a question, they'll respond maybe a week later, and you even forgot about the question.
Yeah.
You know, whereas other universities, you ask a question, within maybe they give you a grace period of like 48 hours, we'll get back to you within 48 hours. So the support, it's every man for themselves.
Is it?
God for
and
us
the
all.
admin, I feel like, because after I failed at UJ, there was a time where I just wanted, I didn't want to see those lecturers, you know?
Yeah,
I was feeling
I can understand.
So yeah, I was considering Unisa. And then what scared me is everybody speaking about the issues with admin. So now I'm imagining myself trying to get a hold of someone because, let's say for example, I can't write an exam or whatever the case is. Does that mean you have to go to Unisa to solve every single admin dispute? Because they don't answer, or what's the deal when it comes to that?
Okay.
I'm not throwing them under the bus.
Okay, you know what? Let's be fair. Give them a grace period of 2 weeks. If it's not solved within 2 weeks, then you go. you must also give them time, you know, just to see.
And then let's say, for example, you are sick before an assessment. How do you?
It's none of their business, because the structuring is that they've got 4 tests.
Okay.
And you need to write 3 out of 4.
Oh, I see.
So this one is like a makeup test. Oh, also speaking about that, make sure you write all 4. Unisa students, write everything. Don't say, I'm
and then
gonna
what?
skip one.
Pick the highest. Do they pick the highest?
They pick the highest out of it. Don't say, I'm not ready, I'm not writing. Write all 4, because this is gonna count in your favor when they're calculating your final mark. So the admin is a nightmare just from applying. Literally, just from applying.
How did you manage to apply? Like I tried to apply, I got rejected. I don't know why.
And they told me that my degree is not psych accredited. Psych accredited when I'm doing CTA and I'm applying for CTA.
So then what? You went into Unisa?
Then I went to the campus, so I applied for CTA, and I applied for postgrad in tax.
Okay.
Tax, right? And I got there, and I'm like, is there anybody who can help me with this? And they're like, no. People for postgrad, they're all working from home. Ish. And I'm like, I'm looking for CTA. Oh, CTA. Okay, no, CTA, we can help you. They're like, yeah, CTA, we can help you. Yeah, then they went through my application and they're like, but why do you want to do CTA? You've got tax. We've accepted you for tax. Why do you want to do CTA? I'm like, I've already started the journey. Like,
yeah.
It wouldn't make sense for me to leave it.
So when you go there, there's like someone at reception.
There's someone at reception. Oh yeah, also had to book an appointment, but because some of us we don't know how to book an appointment. It's a new university. Where am I supposed to know all these things?
Yeah.
You know? So you get
on the website up to date. Is their website up to date?
Yeah, but the website is not user friendly.
For, let's say, for example, contact details.
Yeah, all those things you get them, but they don't answer their phones.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, they don't answer. I think they start answering their phones like in May, June, because now everyone is settled. Registrations and all those things you need to pay. Oh, and I paid. My payment reflected after a month. Hey.
Did you pay like what on the app?
No, I made it.
Like stress.
I made a deposit. I went to
direct deposit.
Direct
and
deposit.
And it still reflected after when?
It reflected after a long time. I couldn't register. The admin is a lot. You need to be ready to be frustrated to deal with the admin. But besides the admin issue, I think everything else is okay.
Is it? And how are the assessments?
The assessments, no.
So you got to Unisa after COVID, right?
Yes.
So everything was online.
Yeah, everything was online. So they discovered this writing online thing, and immediately when COVID hit, I remember, because I had friends in Unisa. Unisa's like, whether we are done with COVID or what, we are gonna write online throughout. And the online it's an advantage and it's also a disadvantage.
Okay.
Advantage in a sense that You don't have to go to a venue, so you save money on petrol and all those things, right? And you can write at the comfort of your own, at your own comfort, sitting at home, just chilling, okay, I'm writing my assessment, Disadvantage is, this is online, there's glitches. I mean, it's Unisa.
That was actually my next question.
There's glitches, and also there are people who do not have up-to-date technology.
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So we're all not the same.
Yeah.
There are people who are literally battling.
Like if you don't have Wi-Fi, what happens?
If you don't have Wi-Fi, they do give you data.
Oh, is it?
To compensate for that. But now, remember, not everyone's got the latest iPhone. Okay, I'm not saying I have the latest iPhone. I'm just saying some people are still using, what's this phone, Mobicells, and that take forever. So you have to take pictures. You take pictures of your thing, of your attempt, and you convert it to PDF, and you submit it online. In that process, as you're submitting, you can have a system shut down. You have to start all over, and they give you 8 minutes to submit.
8 minutes?
Yeah, on the app, on the Invigilator app. So you have to submit on Invigilator app and on the portal.
Okay.
So when you're submitting on the Invigilator app, they give you like 8 minutes, right? If you don't submit on the Invigilator app, you're in trouble. Just because that's the one that they use to
see if you're cheating.
To see if you're cheating. So if you don't submit, because whatever you submit needs to corroborate with what you submit onto the portal. So that's where the problem comes in. You can submit onto the portal, but then they're like, your script, we can't find your script on thing. And then you're like, but I submitted. Yeah, I submitted 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes late. You can submit the wrong paper. So there's risks again. Because when you save on your phone, no, I'm submitting this module. You submit the wrong paper because you write all your modules in one day. This is for your test.
Okay.
So you can submit the wrong papers, and especially if it's your last session.
Don't they communicate with the other modules? Like, hey,
no,
did you receive
it's not
these
my
texts?
problem. No. I understand where they're coming from because they're dealing with over 1,000 students. So for them to go and ask, hi, did you get this business? It's not their job.
And then last question, because my battery's about to die.
Okay.
Do you feel like Unisa prepares you for ITC?
No.
Please
no.
elaborate.
No.
And why do you think they don't?
No. So, with me, I'm very open. With me, I'm very open. I just got my ITC results and I failed. Right? And Unisa's level of testing is not up to par as per SACA's requirements, because their papers is solely based on calculations, whereas when you look at your ITC papers, we are looking at discussion, and it's discussion out of the box, meaning that you need to make, as maybe they'll say you are a financial manager, you need to make a decision, you need to go and invest somewhere. You can't get this in your book, So their discussion is just, let's just give it to them because we have to, But in terms of the assessment, they don't. They do not prepare you for ITC at all. I think you're just there just to pass and get your CTA. So they should just restructure their whole, I don't know, is it business model or teaching methodology, whatever. They just
you think they should focus more on theory?
They should. They really, really should. They really, really should. Yes, somebody's going to say, but no, what about us who are working? We don't have time to read. Unfortunately, you have to read. So they should slowly introduce this concept of test 1. Let's give them calculations. Let's make them relax. Test 2, they turn things around.
Yeah.
The whole paper, make it discussion. So that people can be like, hey, what was going on in the paper, So maybe from test 1, they can still say, okay, since it's test 1, let's see where you are in terms of your undergrad work, But maybe test 2 going forward, they can start incorporating, let's get a 90% discussion of everything we do. Discuss, or even if you're going to calculate, explain to us what you're doing. it's one thing passing CTA. It's a different ball game when you have to go write ITC, because that's just a league of its own. Out of 1,200 students that failed, 700 of those students come from Unisa. So they're contributing towards 63. I did the maths. 63% comes from Unisa students. How bad is that for your university?
Yeah.
And you can't keep
the reputation.
The reputation as well. So eventually starters gonna come and say, no, there's something shady going on here. Why do so many people go write ITC, but you're only getting a pass rate of 20%?